I need help to stop spending money. I am 21 years old with $2,000 in my savings account. I work a 12 per hour job, about 20 to 22 hours a week. I really need help on tips on how to start saving and stop spending. It literally keeps me up at night. On top of that, my mother is always watching everything I spend. I need help. It is driving me crazy. Now, there's a lot of details left out on this type of situation. Also, they are basically making no money, right? So 20, 22 hours a week at $12 per hour, right? So let's just do 22 hours times $12 per hour. They're basically making $264 a week. And if you were to do that by like a year, that is like 13,000, like less than $14,000 a year. So they're basically poverty level. So like the thing is, they basically have to only use their money on like their needs, right? Because I don't really have any other information to really work with based off this post. But what I've found to be the best ways to lessen my spending so that I could like save more money or put more money towards goals that I have, like investing or anything like that, is a couple things, right? One, at first, don't change anything in terms of how you spend your money, right? Do everything that you do normally, but write down every time you spent money on what and how much for like a week, 2 weeks, right? Just so that you could get like a baseline, right? Like of what you are spending your money on. I wouldn't even bother like doing like the digital like tracking or anything kind of stuff, right? I would manually do it. Like get like a $1, $2 cheap Walmart notebook with like a pen or a pencil and just like have these like tiny little like notebooks that you carry on you all the time and just write down what you spent your money on, what day, and how much, right? Because then it starts to like really like make you pay attention like wait a minute, I just spent $12 on this lunch. Wait a minute, I spent $5 today on taquitos or tostitos or whatever, right? And you add that up for the week and you just do that for like the 2 weeks. It could be more, you could do it for like a month if you want to do that. But you need to like see where your money is actually going. Because if you don't know where your money is going, you can't really create a budget. You don't really know where the money is just disappearing off to, right? You could be making this money, and depending on your living situation, like maybe you are staying at home, you're in college or something, like you need to see where this money is actually going. Now, once you do see where your money is going, then you can kind of like cut out like, okay, maybe I shouldn't be going to this like vending machine every single day after class or something. Oh, maybe I shouldn't go grab something from this gas station every single day. Oh, maybe I shouldn't go to Starbucks every single day, right? It's just something that like you could actually see where it is that you're actually doing it. Next way to basically help with spending less money is having cash on you, right? Now, for me personally, there isn't too much of a difference between me having cash and using that versus using like a debit card. But a lot of people should not use a debit card and should not use a credit card because it just doesn't like react in their brain that they're actually spending money, right? Now, like for example, specifically with credit cards, which is why like so many people get into massive amounts of credit card debt. But the reason why I say that debit cards is potentially also an issue is because people will overdraft their with their debit cards as well because they spend so much money that they don't even have that money. So like a personal example, my grandmother was never really like good with finances, and she basically like one time like was spending money on like a credit card. And my grandfather told my dad, is like I just don't understand like why she's like spending so much money on this credit card. Like it just doesn't make sense to me. Like why is she continuously doing this? And basically what they found out is that my grandmother believed that the credit balance, right, on the credit card was free money. Like that was like your money. She didn't understand that the credit card company was actually lending that money to her, like allowing her to borrow that money. Like she didn't realize that it was debt. And apparently there's like a lot of people that have that mindset where like they don't actually understand that that credit limit, that credit card balance is not just free money that you could just go spend. Like you got to pay that money back. But it's honestly like way too common, which is like super scary because this is why so many people who are just not aware about personal finance like at all can get into like a really bad financial situation because they just spend money up to the credit limit and then some because they're not understanding that it's not free money. So that's what I would do if I was this person because they basically claim that they have a spending problem. I would not be using debit cards or credit cards basically ever. Like literally ever. I would not have any of these cards on any online shopping site. I would not have Amazon. I would not have Amazon Prime. I would not have eBay. I would not have any sort of online portal that is connected to a card that I own so that I wouldn't actually be able to spend that money. Like another way to view it, like let's say that you have a really serious problem like spending money, like a very serious problem spending money. You are going to have to treat it very similar to say that you have like a food addiction or that you are like morbidly obese and it is extremely hard for you to lose weight. You are going to have to basically not have that type of food at your house, right? Now, for me, as like an example of this, right? I cannot have chips inside the place that I live because I'm just going to eat the whole freaking bag, right? Straight up, right? So I don't have chips in my home, right? Like wherever I live. I can't do that. Like I cannot have a bag of chips, right? Because I'm just going to eat the whole freaking bag. That's what people have to do if you got like a spending problem. You literally cannot have cards at your place. You literally cannot have cards on your online portals. Now, it might be like a pretty odd situation kind of stuff, but you still technically need a card for like having access to your bank and all that kind of stuff and whatnot. So it might be a situation where you might have to ask someone that you trust to hold on to your card. Or you have a safe where you keep your cards at for safety reasons, but it's such a hassle for you to actually get your card that is not actually worth the energy for you to go get your card, like basically unlock the safe to get your card, to then take it out, to then plug it into the computer, to then buy something online, right? You got to make it to where there's enough like hurdles to where it is not worth it, right? For example, let's say that again you got like a food addiction, right? But you like to eat cake. Well, there's cake inside your house. You got to make it so that the hurdles to getting that cake is so high, you're not going to want to eat a cake because it's just not worth it, right? So you're probably going to have to put it into the basement or something, right? Like just as like an example, like you have to make the hurdles be so much or so high, so annoying that you're not going to do it, right? So that you're just not going to spend the money. But that's probably what I would do if I was this person. If I was having like a very serious like spending issue, Not use debit cards, not use credit cards, use cash, and literally write down every single thing that I spend my money on so I know where the heck my money is going. Let's see some of these comments. Let's see. This person says, do you have a budget? Are you keeping track of your expenses and your income so that you can see where your money is going? Do you have a goal? If you're not in college, any reason you're not working full time? Pretty good questions. They say, I am currently in college, no budget. That's an issue. I try to do the 50-30-20 rule, not bad. My goal right now is to pay off my credit card, which I owe about $1,500 on. Any advice on paying my credit card back too? Thank you. Well, the thing is, this person is kind of in an odd situation where they got enough money to pay off this credit card because they got 2K in their like account. But they also basically make no money. But I don't know what their expenses are. If their expenses is literally nothing in terms of like their needs, like it's all taken care of, what I would do in that person's situation if I had no responsibilities, I would use that money in my account completely and just drain it all, well, basically 1,500 and pay it off because they got 2K in their account, right? So they have 2K in their savings account. I would pay off that credit card. The problem with that, if they were to do that, is that it doesn't solve the problem of their spending. Because if they keep spending their money, they're going to spend money back onto the credit card and get back into credit card debt. So that's kind of like an issue. Let's see, you leave out too many details. Are you in school? Blah, blah, blah. Did you graduate early already? Why are you not working full time? Do you have a budget? Blah, 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 blah. Let's see. She doesn't have access to my account. She just sees the packages of shoes and clothes on our front door. I am in college right now. Every paycheck I try to do the 50-30-20 rule. Yeah, so what this person really needs to do is kind of like what I was thinking is literally disconnect their cards to any sort of online portal. Like they just cannot use it. Basic tip, I'm assuming you're spending on wants, not needs. Agreed. When you have a want and are ready to buy, hit the brakes. Give yourself 48 hours and see if you still really want it. The problem with this is that this person is just like so habitually trained that they just spend the money on a whim, right? They're like, oh, new cup. They're going to go buy it, right? They're like, oh, nice shirt. Bought it, right? Oh, look at those pair of jeans. Bought it, right? Like, there's probably like literally zero thought process, and it's so instinctual that they're just gonna like instantaneously buy. And the problem is with these like online stores, like for example, Amazon is literally a one-click purchase already shipping to your address if you were to click it. So this person definitely is not a person that can ever do online shopping ever, basically. Let's see. Start investing. This person shouldn't start investing. Like this person, like the person that like made this post, they can't handle their money in terms of like from what it seems like, they can't handle their money like online, right? They can't. They basically can't control themselves, right? They are like a morbidly obese person in like a bakery, right? Like it's just like it ain't good. It ain't a good mix. Seems like you know what to do. Stop spending it. You have about 1K, I guess, per month income, but haven't shared info on your bills or anything. It could be you are spending all of it on bills or none of it. No, based off what this person said, they're spending a lot of their money on clothes. Yeah. So feel free to give your thoughts on this, but like again, to my point, sometimes people need to like take a step back and like really understand the type of person that they are. Like for example, my chip example, I am someone that can't have chips at my place. Like I just can't have chips, right? It's just like a very simple rule. Like I literally cannot have chips, right? But other people, they can't have ice cream. They can't have bread, like because they know they're just going to eat the whole freaking loaf or something, right? They can't have soda in their place because they drink the 2 liter soda. Like some people just need to understand, like, okay, what is a trigger for me? Like, what is a trigger for me where I have a very serious issue with this? This person's trigger is literally shopping, like online shopping. From like basically what this looks like, this person is like addicted to online shopping with the very, very little bits of information that they provide, right? Because, like, look at this. Where was the point? Yes, she doesn't have access to my account. She just sees the packages of shoes and clothes on her front door. Meaning that the person buys stuff online and it gets shipped to their home, the mom's home or whatever, right? So this person has a very bad problem with online shopping. And the only way to really cure bad online shopping habits is to completely remove all of your spending options online. Right? Like you literally cannot have your information online. You can't have your credit card information online. You can't have your debit card information online. So it might be a situation where in person, maybe they don't have an issue with spending their money, which if that's the case, that's amazing. But they are for sure someone that can't have an Amazon account. Like they literally just can't use Amazon ever. Like ever. They can't use eBay like ever. Like they're just one of those people that just can't do it. And you got to be honest with yourself about that. Like you just can't do it or like you really shouldn't do it. Or if you were to do Amazon, do it with like a friend or something and you pay them in cash or something. But this person cannot be doing online shopping like at all. Like at all.